time to talk Jets football on the Ourlads Football Network. We're going to take the time to break down the top three draft needs for the New York Jets. And just want to remind everybody, too, on Ourlads, please subscribe to the channel. Again, I know we're relatively new, but we've been around a long time. And we're just going to keep getting better, of course. We'll have our draft guide coming out really soon and our draft review guide as well. So make sure we'll have some links in the description area for you to check all that stuff out. And you can also check out the Prime Sports Network YouTube channel, where Matt and I are going to have a more in-depth interview and go over a lot of other things regarding the depth chart for the New York Jets. All right, let's get started with the New York Jets top three draft needs, Matt, starting with draft need number 3.
I'll go safety, because they're bringing back Chuck Clark, who missed all of last year with an ACL. If healthy, he would be an upgrade. You just don't know, right? Like, coming off the year where he missed the entire season, and him and Tony Adams has the potential to be a really good duo. But I think they could use some depth there, because Clark probably not a long-term answer. And also, you don't know what he's going to be coming off the injury. So I think they could look to add a safety later in the draft.
Okay, draft need number 2 for the Jets.
I'm going to go offensive line. I know that they brought in Tyron Smith. They traded for Morgan Moses. They signed John Simpson, and they bring in three new starters. And it looks like, on paper from left to right, the offensive line is fully filled out. But they don't have a long-term answer at tackle, right? Because it's a 1-year deal for Tyron Smith. He has injury concerns. And for Morgan Moses, you trade for him. He's in the last year of his contract as well, over the age of 30 years old. So you don't know how much longer he has. I'm excited about that duo for the short term. I think it absolutely makes sense, but they still need more there. They have some younger guys in Max Mitchell and Carter Warren, but I think it'd be wise for the Jets to continue to add. And this is a really good draft for the offensive line. So I would like to see the Jets still take a swing at that group, whether it's tackle or on the interior, after the John Simpson signing and moving Elijah Vera-Tucker back to guard permanently. Maybe guard isn't as big of a need, but I would look to add something on the offensive line relatively early in this draft, because I just think, looking at the prospects, it's one of the better positional groups, and the Jets should take advantage.
Need number 1, draft need number 1 for the New York Jets.
Yeah, so for me, I think 2 and 1 are pretty interchangeable. I think you can make a case for either one of these being number 1 or number 2, but to me, they're far and away the biggest need. So I would go wide receiver at that point. The reason why I have wide receiver first right now is because, as it looks on paper for 2024, the starting offensive linemen look like they are pretty much locked in. Where wide receiver, you have Mike Williams and Garrett Wilson, but then there's kind of a question mark for who that third guy is going to be. You have, Xavier Gipson, who is, a younger guy coming along, but I don't know if you're really comfortable with him as a starter when you're going 3 wide. Allen Lazard really struggled last year, so I think they'd be looking for an upgrade there. I like the trade back ideas. You can maybe take a swing at both offensive line and wide receiver in the first 2 rounds, in whatever order you want to do it in. And then that kind of goes to, fixing or at least adding more talent to, in my opinion, the 2 far and away biggest needs. Like, I think wide receiver and offensive line, whatever order you want to put them in, is by far a touch above whatever you want to put at the 3rd biggest need for the Jets after that.